I want to talk about things, real human things, not these little irrelevant small talk conversations or having conversations where people are too scared to actually penetrate the real question at hand or anything deeper than comfortable conversation, which I feel like that's a common vibe for a lot of people. Yet why is it that we're met with so many people in so many circumstances that are so shallow and surface level? I can't deal with it anymore. Whether it is face-to-face interactions or on the internet or texting, whatever, it doesn't even matter. I just feel like there's a lack of authenticity in this world, and I am begging you to help me bring it back because we just need it. We just need it. There's just no questions asked there. And maybe that makes me a weird person, or maybe that makes me a normal person and everybody else is just weird. I don't know. But what I'm here for today is to advocate for authenticity to be brought back to the world and specifically the internet and just interactions in general. Honestly, you can't even limit it to one thing because I feel like this world has somewhat idolized this version of being that is so far away from what we actually experience as humans. But it's just time we experience a deepening of this human condition, this experience, this life, literally. And I know that sounds really hippy-dippy, but honestly, isn't it a really good thing? Like, what bad is there to come out of deepening your connection with the world around you and with the people around you and yourself? I mean, there's so much to be gained from that. So I don't know, I want to talk about it because there's so many things that I just want to hear about from everybody around me, just hear about their life and their experiences, and I just feel like that's not what gets talked about a lot. And maybe am I at fault for not pursuing those kind of conversations? I mean, I don't know. I feel like from my own experience, I'm like looking around like you guys can see anything, but like, from my trial and error through my lifetime, I feel like I've definitely put in my best foot forward to try to, meet people where I feel like they need to be met and see them the way they need to be seen. But I just feel like that's not everybody's route to things. And I don't know, something about this topic just brought to mind that it takes courage to be able to do this. And sometimes you need to be empowered to feel that courage. So I'm doing my due diligence, I guess, to let you guys know that it's okay to be authentic and be yourself and be a weirdo on the internet, I guess, that talks about things that they really truly feel. And even if you don't know if other people are gonna agree, it's okay. Just being able to come on here and come into the world really and be able to just be yourself, truly be yourself in all of the chaos and darkness and all the beautiful, magical, magnificent qualities as well. I mean, that duality stands a very stable ground and it emerges this authenticity within all of us, when you are aware of both that sides. But I feel like especially when people are playing this good side, people just become so enmeshed with this version of self that they think they need to be in order to be good that they can't even be themselves. Or maybe it's the opposite. Maybe somebody's so immersed in the more negative qualities of themselves that they can't see a way out of things. I mean, all of those are valid sides that can be literally talked about to the people around you, thus helping you kind of through that situation because you'll see that you're not alone. Because if you think about it, if everybody met each other with authentic expression, we would be able to have those deep conversations where it's like, hey, I experienced that too. Like, I went through that too, and I felt this way about it, or this is how I got through it. And maybe this is my Virgo Libra just taking over here, but I just feel like there's a valid connection to be built through, sorting ourselves out with other people and just understanding that there's so much to be gained through, like I said, just being authentic and vulnerable is honestly what it comes back to too. I think, vulnerability is such a big thing that people talk about as being a scary thing to do for the reason that you don't always feel safe to do it. But like I said, sometimes you have to be the one to take that leap of faith and build that safety net for yourself because you're going to catch yourself if you fall regardless. I mean, you've gotten this far doing it, so you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not that scary once you do it because you'll be surprised how many people are actually pretty interested in what you have to say. And I know any person out there that's ever put a video on YouTube has been shocked when they got even 10 views or 1 view. Like, it doesn't matter. You're shocked at the fact that things can happen like that. And I think that's kind of a cool thing about TikTok that I personally haven't dived into too much. Honestly, it's a little nerve-wracking for me too. I'm just like you, I get a little nervous to do things too, but like, especially TikTok, like I was saying, is a great avenue for people to be authentic and to feel seen in ways that they've never felt seen before. And for the weirdest, quirkiest things, you know, people are blowing up on the internet. And I think that shows so much, not only abundance in this world, for one, because anybody can blow up. Anybody, I personally think, could make a living online if they really pursued it and like found their niche, but it's like a niche that's only authentic to you. And people have to come back to you specifically for that fill, because you are your most authentic, unique self, you know, never to be recreated. We are extremely unique individuals, scientifically and esoterically, you know, you are incredibly, incredibly unique. Your perception is never to be replicated by another person. So when you share that authentically with other people, I mean, you are changing the world in ways that you can't even perceive, because honest to God, you know, a lot of people can't just admit what they're experiencing, especially when it's really authentic and raw to a part of them that they haven't really uncovered yet. And that's okay. That's kind of the cool part about being on the internet, is while, you know, you can hide some of the more vulnerable parts of you, you know, that's good. So then you can deal with that on your own and then bring forth to the table, you know, an understanding face, somebody who has confronted their inner demons and can see clearly the lessons that other people have to teach in their perceptions too. Like, there's so much to be gained, guys. It's just weird to me that we have this weird stigma almost around being a human, and almost like we have to keep certain qualities of being a human hidden from the world. And obviously for different reasons we have to keep things more covered and secretive, but to a degree, you know, there's a lot more that we can share, I think, than what we ever really allow ourselves to, unless we enable that sense of safety within us. That is a personal thing. That comes from knowing that you are taken care of by your own will, you know, your own ability to just deal with it. Because like I said, look at what you've done so far. It 100% proves, I mean, you're alive and breathing right now, so you're doing something to be proud of and to be, you know, credited, honestly, towards everything else that you do. Notice that you're going to be able to get yourself through things, and that in itself enables this ability for you to see yourself clearly and then try to show the world that clearly. I mean, obviously it's hard to be perfect on that. I don't think you'll ever be perfect with that, because like I said, there are just some things that you can't really talk about until, you know, sometimes until at least they're over, but sometimes you can't really put words to them, or just due to respect to another person, you just don't put it out there. But I think it's important to realize that there are incredible things that we are perceiving, each and every one of us, that it's helpful to share. And I also find that people can hyper identify with niches in attempt to validate and justify these ways of being that actually aren't really true to them. And to you, I say, I get you. I've been you before, and I'll probably be you in the future at different points, because sometimes, actually a lot of the time, this thing in our head, our ego, likes to justify the things that we are doing to make us feel safe, but it's a false sense of security. That's the thing. That's kind of the weird thing about it, I should say. But through that honest sense of trust and just knowing that you are worthy of being seen and valued for who you are at your most authentic, I think all of us will be surprised to see how well we can be received by other people, and how many great people we can actually come in contact with, because we've been met with people who get us, who understand us truly at our core, you know? And if somebody doesn't, like, it's a filtration system in itself. So like I said, sometimes you just have to enable that sense of trust within yourself so you can take that leap of faith to be seen accordingly. And trust me, I know the pain that comes with the vulnerability of dropping your pride and ego. Like, it sometimes can feel like a literal gaping hole in your chest, or a burning hole, or something like that, you know, like a very physical sensation of being exposed. But here's the thing, you are exposing parts of yourself that have been deprived light. They've been deprived the ability to be authentic, to be seen and loved accordingly, and given value too. And that's why you have to take that initial step to do that. And I don't know, like, this went off on a tangent, but like, you know what I'm saying? This kind of energy of seeing yourself clearly is something that you can bring to the table in not only your own personal, you know, self-talk or whatever, but with your relationships with other people and how you project yourself into the world. And even better, you can start now. You don't have to wait for somebody to give you the okay to start sharing a more authentic part of yourself. And nothing's gonna be perfect at first. I mean, sometimes I've overshared things or not shared things when I should have, you know, it's a balancing act, like I said. But really, it just boils down to knowing that you're capable of showing up authentically and being accepted for that. And in knowing that it's a learning process no matter how far along you go. And the more that you have that humility that you're never gonna really know it all, the better off you'll be, because then you'll be able to actually connect with people. Because I'll tell you right now, it will be isolating to put yourself on a pedestal thinking that people have to be a certain way in order to be accepted. This boils down to just not judging yourself and not judging others. Just let people express themselves and, like I said, perceive the reality through their lens and, you know, meet them there. Because let's be real, we all didn't start off knowing everything. You know, we are all learning as we go. And honestly, it's just plain ignorant to pretend like we haven't all been there at one point, you know? Like, there comes a point where you can just tell, like, you're not trying to relate to people. And I think it actually does help a lot to look back at how you came to conversations and situations and think about, were you the most authentic you could be in that situation? And if so, why not? But yeah, that was pretty much all I had to say about this. Bottom line, I just want more depth and personal truth to prevail in this world so we all can maybe learn a little bit of something about each other and, I don't know, just grow for the better. Who knows? Something crazy like that. I don't know. But anyways, if you stayed to the end of this video, thank you so much. You're a homie for real. Comment your thoughts down below because, as I said, I like to hear what you guys have to say, what your thoughts are, yada, yada, yada. As well as give this video a thumbs up and, of course, subscribe to my channel. Duh, I want you guys to hang out with me more on here because it's so fun to just talk to people on the internet. I don't know why people don't take more advantage of this, but now I'm just rambling. So I'm gonna skedaddle and I hope to see you guys in a later video. Oh shit, look at my social medias linked down below. I literally always forget to say that. Anyways, I will see you guys in a later video. Bye. P.S. Can you tell that I did my makeup specifically for authentic expression? That's right. We're on brand.